Welcome back and welcome to Season 3 of the Havoc Rundown. I'm your host, Justin, and tonight we're kicking off a brand new year of chaos, commentary, and combat. The 2026 season is already in full swing with events lighting up across the Pacific Northwest, and this episode is all about our roadmap and getting you set for the year ahead. We're introducing new rules, new systems, and completely revamped Fantasy League, and which now supports multiple formats in leagues across the combat robotics world. Tonight, the guest is us. I'm joined by the full Rundown crew, which is the Game Master, Ryan Hunter.
I much prefer the house. Thank you.
Our community connection, Ashley Beckman.
I'm over Ryan already.
The Chaos Conduit, Thomas Carroll.
I don't know actually why I'm here. I just am.
Yeah, Thomas is very anti-fantasy, so yeah, we'll get into that later. And our webmaster and creative lead, Tony Baker.
Hey everyone, what new thing do you want?
So like I said, this is our first episode, technically, of Season 3. This is our kickoff episode, which is, I guess, just meant to kind of talk about our roadmap and what we're going to be doing this year. We kind of had our year close where we hinted at a couple things. The main point of this is to talk about the Fantasy League, which we're getting into full swing this year. We have brand new rules. We have a new way to do it. The website is going to be fully supporting it. So it's very exciting. But before we get into all of that, we need a game to start us off for the new year. So we're going to head over to what I hope is a newly revamped and reconstructed game corner.
The game corner finished being constructed last year. It's so nice and pristine in here. There's no bugs anywhere. It's nice, okay? Don't mind the stickiness on the floor. It's butter from the popcorn, all right? All right. So, tonight, we are playing Who's the GOAT? All right. It's basically going to be a different version of higher or lower. I'm going to give you a sports legend and then a combat robot or a builder and a statistic. And you tell me which one's the better one? Which one's the GOAT? Which one has the higher statistic between them? Everybody's going to be playing here. Everyone will submit an answer. And as I love doing with these types of things, together all of you are fighting against the house. If the majority of you get the answer wrong, the house gets all the points for that round. But if the majority of you get the answer correct, the house wins. I mean, you win. The house always wins, but you win.
No, the
right.
house always loses.
I got issues here.
All right. We don't need
Stacking the deck.
Always
Got
win.
I haven't slept well for the past week. I'd leave me alone. All right.
I think I figured out why I'm here.
I got a good chance, maybe?
Yes. This should be a really fun game. All right. So, as an example round, here we go. All right. The player who has won the single most basketball championships in the NBA is Bill Russell. Compare that with how many NHL tournaments Jameson Go has won across his robots. So, who has won more? Bill Russell in basketball championships or Jameson Go in NHL tournaments?
Is it tournaments or just the World Championship?
Wait, are we all answering together?
No, we all have to give our own answers.
You all
Okay.
give independent answers.
Okay, well, I have the answer. I haven't heard of this Russell guy because he's, like, lame and basketball is not good, and Jameson Go is kind of the best. So Jameson Go has more victories.
All right. Thomas says go.
Also, if the guy does have more victories, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I agree. I think it's J-Mo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go JMO.
Okay, Justin goes with Jameson Go.
If it's all
Tony.
tournaments, then yes, it's Jameson.
It's Jameson. Ashley, we have a majority with go.
I said it was JMO as well.
Okay. All of you unanimously say Jameson go, and that is correct. Jameson has, across all of his bots at AHRL, won 16 times. 16 tournaments. That includes championships and everything. Against Bill Russell, who won 13 basketball championships. Which is, it's a good statistic. It's a really good statistic. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of insane, though.
All right.
Our next round.
I'll give you this. Let's go.
One of the greatest football players of all time is Tom Brady.
Hell yeah, it is.
He is such a great player. He has a particularly high win rate for games. How does Tom Brady have a higher win rate over the best Thagamizer of all time, Maximizer?
Well, I've got my answer. Tom and I, we share a very similar name. Some would even say the same name. So I got to go with the fellow Tom.
All right, Thomas goes Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Maximizer. Maximizer's a better robot than any football player, but
I'm going Tom Brady.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna say-
Ashley goes Tom Brady.
I'm going to say Tom Brady as well.
Okay,
you can't all
And
copy
I'm
my
going to make
homework.
you
we'll make it unanimous. Guys, you got it right again. Tom Brady has a win percentage of 77% over Maximizer's 76%.
Jeez Louise!
Wow, that's close.
All right.
That
Two
might
more.
change by the
All right,
next
you gotta
time
get sick
Jake
more often.
fights.
We're on a roll. Let's go.
All right, let's talk about knockouts. Who would you think of the most with knockouts in sports? Mike Tyson.
Gotta be
Mike
a fuck.
Tyson was known all of his life for winning matches by knockout. But what about one of the nicest guys in the sport, Glenn Boxall, and his 3-pound bot Caldera? Which one has the most knockouts?
Are we
Glenn
talking
answer
just the
last.
3 or are we talking
Just
both?
the 3. I am just talking the
Okay.
3.
Oh, man.
Everyone else has to answer first this time, so you can't copy my homework.
I'm going with Glenn.
All right, Tony goes with Glenn.
Just because I'm going with Mike Tyson.
Oh, man. Glenn has had
All right,
so many
we are
fights.
not. We are not all saying the same thing this time. All right, Justin goes with Mike Tyson.
I'm torn on this one. I'm gonna go. Is this just NHRL? Is this all time?
All time.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
Mike Tyson
gonna
doesn't play in NHL.
I'm gonna go with Glenn.
Ashley's going with Glenn. All right, Thomas.
Well,
We have a
clearly-
Glenn, and a Mike.
Clearly, the answer is Glenn. And the reason is Mike, he's retired.
Okay.
So,
Great.
He's also been
wait.
fighting longer than like I don't understand the
but in 5 years after this episode, even if I'm wrong, you can then update the statistics and say that I was actually just ahead of the times.
Oh
So,
god.
Glenn Boxall.
All right, Thomas is Glenn. So we have an overwhelming majority going with Glenn Boxall.
Because he's the best Boxall. Oh, wait,
And the
Brian's
house
also good.
And the house loses again. The answer is Glenn Boxall has 78 knockouts over Mike Tyson's career 44.
I always forget that Glenn and Brian are like the same family because Glenn's just like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. And then Brian's like the fireball and drinking college team. Like they're so different, but they fight the same bots.
Glenn's had so many fights, it's not even fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
The only one that
Yeah.
more is James. So it's like,
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to make Jameson for all of these rounds. You also have to understand that Jameson would be like the top of almost every single one of these rounds.
You could have just called the game Goat versus Goats.
What if we like the worst
Goat
performing
versus
robots
goats.
and compare them to really bad teams? Don't do that because then the people that fight those robots, actually no, get permission from someone. Like, let's see, who's a really bad bot? Mr. Roper.
Wow.
All
I
right,
love that robot.
last round. Who has a better win-loss rate? Roger Clemens, one of the greatest baseball pitchers of all times, or Lars Elliott, and that's counting impact in jet lag.
Wait, what are we comparing? The
Win-loss
Bruce Cooler?
rate.
Oh,
No,
win-loss.
win-loss. Yeah,
for
win-loss.
games. for games. So how many games has Roger Clemens won?
Wait, what
versus Lars Elliott?
He's
a pitcher for baseball.
Well, pitchers are lame and Lars is awesome. Plus, even if you're a pitcher,
Tom.
the rest of your team is like
I love this.
more important. So yeah, Lars.
The
Lars,
pitcher's the most important part of the team. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, no.
What are you supposed to do if you can't hit the ball?
Oh my God,
Dude,
Thomas.
It's called
To be fair,
baseball. You also have to
Your
run the
opinions about
bases.
baseball are horrible.
Yeah.
To be fair, Roger Clemens played in 709 Major League Baseball games.
Yeah, but it's about
Roger
win-loss.
Clemens has, how many wins?
That's a way more chance.
It's
to
win-loss. It's win-loss
ratio.
rate.
Like
Oh, it's very
percentage? What? Like,
Yeah, percentage.
I think if you fought Impact versus Clemens, Impact would win every time. Yeah, he can throw a ball at 90-something miles an hour, but Impact
he
could
played
spin at like 200
Clemens did a lot of
something.
games and won a lot of games, but I don't know if his win-loss percentage is
Imagine
like
playing baseball
up in
with
the
Emperor.
70s. So I'm gonna go with Lars.
Okay,
Good.
Tony goes with Lars.
You picked the
you
correct
know what?
answer.
I'm also gonna go with Lars because
See,
ball
everyone
pitcher
knows.
is the most important. It's not always up to him.
Yeah, pitchers
Okay.
are lame.
I don't think that's what she said, but well, it sounds like we're all going Lars, so I guess I'll go with Lars, so I'm not against the pack.
Nah, I should go against the pack because we're gonna be wrong.
Thomas, are you going Lars?
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I
He already
already
Okay.
I'll go Lars.
You all are going unanimously to Lars. Are you sure you want to do that?
Okay, I'm gonna go
Yes.
Clemens. No, I'm gonna go Clemens. I mean, it's still gonna be Lars. The answer is still gonna be Lars, but I'm gonna go Clemens just because.
Okay, Justin's moving to Clemens. Would anyone else like to move over to Roger Clemens?
No,
You're
he
missing-
wants.
He wants.
He literally wants a point.
Yeah, he wants the house to get at least one point.
No, absolutely.
I'm just moving over to Clemens just because, in spite of Thomas.
Okay. Roger Clemens has a win rate of 65.8%,
Oh, there's
which is
no way
really
Lars
good.
That's kind of bad.
that low.
But it's not as good as Lars, who has a career win rate of 74% of
Let's go.
counting impact and jet lag. That's not counting his
Oh my
his
God, Clemens
Beatles,
has got
not his
Okay,
Beatles.
but you just told us how many total games Clemens played.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
total games did Lars play? Because that plays a huge impact into
You said the
the
word.
the win-loss ratio.
Give me 1 second to
Yeah,
do math.
Yeah, but
and I will
Clemens is
answer.
like an old man. Lars is like in college. He's got time to destroy Clemens' record.
Oh my God.
True. He's only just
Lars has 181 fights between impact and jet lag. I know he has ants and stuff like that too.
Yeah, just give it
Okay.
a couple more years.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
Well, that's the games corner. The house got 0 points this time.
This is great.
Isn't the way it should always be.
This is what is coming for you for fantasy, Ryan. Just know that. right?
Oh,
Ashley's
See,
playing this time.
now
I'm
you're
on.
playing.
I'm in it. Let's go, Ryan.
All right, let's do it.
The question is Ashley or Zach gonna win? Zach
Oh yeah,
is right.
Oh, I want to be a bug on the wall for when you and Zach are close in points. That's going to be interesting. Speaking of, let's move over to. So we're going to talk about the fantasy league because that's the main thing, the main big change this year, and then we'll talk about the events and episodes that we already have planned out. And some of the things coming out of the pipeline, as well as some of the other events that happened and some of the winners from the 3 events in the Pacific Northwest that we mentioned earlier. So let's move over to our roundtable segment, which is the 2026 Fantasy League Explained. So as any of our longtime listeners will know, the 2025 season, our 2025 podcast season, we launched a beta fantasy league that was meant to test if it was a viable thing that can be done, because we had this big question of, can you do fantasy sports of combat robotics? And it was a beta because we didn't really have any kind of comparable rule set or comparable things to go by. So we kind of had to start from scratch and make up the rules and figured out as we went along. There was a lot of things changed during the year last year, a lot of rules and a lot of modifications that had to be made. But going into our 2026 season, we are making some major changes, not only in the rules, but also how the leagues are going to be tracked and how we're going to be able to have visuals of it, because the 25 season lived out of Google Sheets, which at times was frustrating. So our webmaster and amazing creative lead has made the Fantasy League live on our website, which is amazing. So before we get started on the rule changes, Tony, do you want to talk about what it looks like, what the league looks like on the website, what we're going to be able to do, all the changes going from Google Sheets to an actual web host, a web application?
So the biggest change is that we'll actually have a draft window, just like you would on ESPN Fantasy Sports and things like that. So if you log into the website while we're actually doing the draft, you'll be able to actually see which spots are up there, what the records are. I'm going to have the records at NHRL up there, the world rankings and everything else up there. So it'll all be sorted and easily there for you. So you'll be able to see when you're coming up, which picks were done, how the teams are forming up. That'll all be automatic on the actual site, which is, I think, going to make the actual drafting actually quite amazing. The second part is that on the event days, we're going to be pulling the information directly from True Finals. So you'll be able to get a live update and stream on how your team is doing at any given moment on the website as well. So those are the two biggest changes, I think, because everybody's like, where am I? What am I doing? How many points do I have? And it's like, and Justin's sitting there trying to do crazy things on HRL and tell you that at the same time. Now it's all going to be living live on the website. So
yeah, I literally had really cool thing. I had a PowerShell script that was hitting the True Finals API and pulling all the raw data down into a way that can be read. And then I was feeding it into ChatGPT, which was interpreting the ones and zeros, because that's how the back end of True Finals API looks at it, is like a win in a certain category is a 1 and a loss is a 0, but then like buys are zeros, and it's really confusing. So I had to basically open a project in ChatGPT and say, this means this, this means this, this means this. Here's the raw data. Can you spit out what I need it to be spit out to throw into the sheet? So that's what I was doing live as everything was going and updating those, and then I would update the points. I had a gigantic spreadsheet that kept track of everyone's rosters throughout the year, what points each of those bots in the rosters were getting, and then it would update the league standings as it went on with points. So having an actual web platform that's going to do all of that automatically for us is beautiful. I love it.
The other really cool thing, not necessarily with our fantasy league, is anybody can make their own. So if you want to make your own fantasy league with NHRL, you can do that right along with them. If you want to make an event for just a single event, you can do that. So upcoming this week is at RC Excitement is the Ants event. If you wanted to actually do that while you're there and actually have a single event, you can do that on our website. And my favorite thing is you actually can have a worldwide booth. So you can choose from bots all over the world and make a team. And then as I update the events from the year, you can actually get those points for your league. You can actually do trades. I have a waiver wire built into it. You can pick up free agents and everything else on your team. All that's under the World League. So there's lots of options to be able to play and enjoy the fantasy. And if you guys are using it, that's why it's a beta on the actual website this year. As you guys are using it, we'll make some changes and see how things are going to work out this year. So next year, it'll go fully live and hopefully have a lot larger group of people playing.
Yes. And also on the website under the news section, if you go under rules, there are 2 articles that are sitting there. One of them is a worldwide fantasy league rules. Those are it's like a 30-page document that goes over the general outline of rules for a Combat Robotics Fantasy League, going into everything that you would need to run your own, all the rules that go by. It has an open thing for any kind of weight class that you want, any other system that you want to do. It keeps to the points, and the base things that we set up that allowed the league to run are still there. But as Tony has set up the leagues, you can also make changes. You can make knockouts count for 20 points and tap outs only count for 5, or whatever you want to set your league up to be. Or make them 0. If a single event only keeps track of like, did this bot win or did it not win, you can still set up the points so that it makes sense. You can still track that. So hopefully we have made a dynamic system that allows anyone to go in and make a league and track this up ourselves. And then as well on there, for anyone that is listening and has registered for our NHL League, which will be open until the 23rd, I think I said. I think January 23rd is when we're going to close registration for that. But we have open registration for our NHL League right now. I believe we are sitting at around 20 teams, which if we get enough interest in that, we will open multiple leagues so that we don't have anyone that is left out of that. So we'll see how that goes, but we have open registration right now, and we are going to run our NHL League like we did last year, except for now it's not in beta, it's in, what is it called? Early access. It's in early access. So our NHL League is in early access, and the website is in beta. So, always working on that kind of stuff. So a couple of the rule changes for, again, like I said, the world rules are kind of a general outline. You can make different changes and point changes and whatever changes you want to make it your own, but it gives a framework for NHL League. There are some changes that we have made to make everything go a little bit more smooth and work a little bit better than it did last year, because it was a little muddied and convoluted and hard to keep track of. The big picture change is from the league to a platform. It's not just league anymore. It's a platform on the website. We've already talked about that. It's built to support the multiple leagues and all that kind of stuff. But in the NHL League, I think the biggest change that we made is instead of season-long points, we're doing, I think when it was the idea originally brought up, they called it Mario Kart points, but it's podium points is basically what it's called. I think is what the system is called. So previously, let's say you have 3 robots, or I guess 4 robots for our league. They went through the day and you earned a total of 60 points across all your robots for the entire day. Those 60 points went into the league tracking, and then those 60 points added up all the way to the end of the year, and then the person with the overall most points won, which last year was Aiden. I think he had like 960 something points. I would have to bring up the tracker to see. This year, how it's going to work is each NHL event is going to be its own encapsulated thing, and the points are going to be tracked. So if across all your bots you have 60 points and you are the highest scoring person at that event, then you get 20 points if it's a 20-person league. And then the second place person gets 19 and the third place gets 18. And that allows, instead of a combined amount of points that can be dependent on, hey, did this get a knockout, did that whatever, that all adds up and snowballs into the end, it allows a much more condensed, balanced, easier to change placing and get ahead and still catch up kind of league that I think will make it a little bit more competitive, because it kind of felt after a couple events last year that there were some people that were way out in front with way too many points to ever be caught. And doing a podium placing system is going to change that and make it so it's a lot closer throughout the year, and it makes it a lot more competitive. So, I
don't get to chase Dan this year.
Well, you might. I mean, if he gets first place at three events, he's gonna have like 60 points, and so.
And you finish last, it's gonna be hard. So
yeah.
But
so don't finish last.
In one way, but
I proved myself last year.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say, the way you drafted for Chris, Lindsay, and Luke last year, you definitely proved that you have drafting chops. So We will see how you
makes
do.
Fun of me for drafting my friends. I'm so good at that. Every once in a while, I can't help it. Oh, my friends are, I don't know, world champions over here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping all the data, we kind of like level the plate.
Yeah. Well, we will. I do want to point out that your fiance is a world champion and he is now playing as well. So
I'll fight him. Don't worry, I got it.
Are you guys gonna be fighting over who drafts Pramhina?
Yeah, you see, I'm the fiance though. This is gonna get interesting.
Technically, he's also the fiance.
Where was I? Okay, yeah. So the next big change that we are making is last year the point totals for what a match outcome were different across the different weight classes, because the initial thought was because beetles have more fight, beetles are going to count for more in the total at the end of the year. Because we are changing it to podium points, it is much easier for a website platform standpoint and for keeping track across everything that the points are across all weight classes the same. So it doesn't matter which weight class it is. Our system for our NHRO league, and again, this is customizable. If you make a league on the website, it's customizable as you go. So you can make these points whatever you want for your league or for a single day or whatever you want to do. You can make the points different. Like I said, you can make a KO worth 20 points and judges win worth 5, or it doesn't matter. But for ours, KOs and tap outs, which we're going to count as the same thing, is 7 points. Judges win is 6. Forfeit win is 5, and a judge's loss is 2. So those are the 4 match outcomes that we're tracking. Forfeit win is currently sitting at 5 just because it is not the bot who won's fault that the other bot forfeited. There's been some drama the past couple days as far as forfeits are concerned, and NHRL is concerned that forfeits are going to have a bit of a different weight this year. So we will see how forfeits actually happen, because it's going to feel different forfeiting your bot this year. But if I don't know, we don't really want to get into this episode, but if you don't know that, you can go look at the XP system that NHRL has implemented. It's interesting. So those are the point totals. That's another big difference from last year. Any notes on that before I move off to the third big change?
Nope.
Cool.
Once again.
And then the final big change that we're making, there's some small tweaks as far as like seating and how the website's going to go in. But the third biggest change that we're making is how we're drafting. So last year, and again, this is something you can do completely different if you want to make your own league. I'm just talking about the Havoc Rundown NHRL League. Last year, how we drafted was you did Beetle 1, and then you did Beetle 2, and then you did Hobby, and then Featherweight. How it's going to work this year is there is going to be a draft order, and we are going to snake up and down that draft order until every single person has 4 robots, 2 beetles, a hobby, and a feather, but in no particular order. So when it comes to your turn in the draft, you can pick a beetle, a hobby, or a feather to fit into that slot. And as soon as that bot is in your slot, that slot is closed. So let's say it gets to Ryan's turn, he wants to pick his beetle. So he picks his beetle, and then it goes to Ashley, and Ashley's like, I want to get my hobby before anybody else can get it. So she slots her hobby into her hobby slot. And then it comes back around again, and Ryan's like, I want my hobby. Ashley already has her hobby, so she chooses, I want my first beetle, or I want my featherweight. And it continues in the snake format all the way through. So first to last to first to last to first, until everyone has all of their slots claimed. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow people to have a lot more of a strategy. It's going to allow people to try and pick up robots that they want in whatever order they want of their importance without having to worry about the people in front of them getting a better chance because, we're in our hobby, so I have to choose my hobby here. If your beetle is...
sign up here yet. That run, if Bonky ever comes back, man, that would he would love that this year.
He is not on my registration yet. No, he is not. Dan just registered today, so Dan is back. And Aiden registered 56 seconds into the registry being open.
He's ready.
I don't think I could fill out the form that fast, but I did try.
Well, Sam Herman filled it out in 47 seconds. So, and then, yeah. So that's fun. Yeah, so this draft format is going to allow a lot more strategy. It's going to allow a lot more balance, and it's going to allow people to fill up their roster in the way they want versus the way that we have it structured. So we think that it's going to be a lot more of a fun draft. It's also the way I understand drafts in other sports work. When you get to your draft, you can usually choose whichever position that you want to grab instead of being told, oh, you have to take your quarterback now or whatever. So it's a lot closer to how drafts in other sports work. And we think it's going to be a lot more fun and a lot more balanced.
I think it's going to be a lot more chaotic when it happens too.
Oh, absolutely. Like you figure, like you got like the third or fourth pick. If you had the third or fourth pick last season in Hobby, like you're not getting like one of the top spots. Like so, you are the third or fourth pick over in the draft, and it's like, okay, all the good Beatles are picked. Well, I'm gonna pick Eruption, or I'm gonna pick Tom Hedda from the Hobby Week, or there. So it's like you can easily do those types of things, which I think will be a really cool first round, especially. That's right. You're going to see all the big names drop off really quick off the first round, which you typically do in any other fantasy draft. That's where your top picks are done.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's also going to be funny because we, in the past, have always had people say, oh, you took my pick. But it's like, oh, we're in Beatles, and they took your pick in Beatles as we're going through. And it's going to be like, you took my 12. And it's like, then you should have taken a 12 when you had the chance to take a 12 instead of your Beatle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun draft. So those are major changes. One of the other major changes is Ashley is playing this year. Last year when Chris, Luke, and Lindsay were kind of off the grid. Luke being in Japan, and Chris and Lindsay off doing other projects. They kind
of in the woods of Canada.
Yeah,
making pizza ovens.
Yeah.
What the heck?
They kind of relegated you to be their choice person. So you kind of, on the tail end of our season, were drafting multiple robots, and kind of had that, oh, I got some points, but they weren't your points. They were Chris's points, So this year you have a team. Do you want to tell everyone what your team name is and why?
Yes, of course. So because of my joy and deep friendship with Luke, Lindsay, and Chris, I have gone ahead and taken all of their 3 team names from last year, and I am going to be Team Bandle Bot Sides this year, in honor of the 3 of them and encouraging me to be involved. And I hope that I do them proud.
Nice. And then Ryan, your team name is
The House. Because the house always wins.
No, it doesn't. You're not going to fool the system by changing your team name.
We will see. I was doing well. I was doing well for like a good amount of time last year, and then I just like fell off, and everybody went right past.
Do you know why?
Why?
Hashtag justice for Kratos.
Oh, I know. Kratos cursed me.
You'll never live that down.
Yeah. We have some returning faces from last year as well in this registration. The registration opens yesterday at 12. So far we have Julian Papazian, we have Nick Andrus, we have Aiden, of course, who won last year. Miles is up there, of course. Ryan, Glenn Boxall is up there. Tim.
I just want to say Glenn was so excited that he needed to make sure he was getting in our league.
he 12:05 is when he registered. So 5 minutes after I dropped the registry, he was on there.
And he was worried.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, everybody excited before. He was worried he wasn't going to get it 5 minutes later.
Yep. And then we have some new faces like Che. We talk about Che, who is her screen name is Your Mom on our Discord. She of course has her son and happy birthday. And then Rain is also up there. So she's Team Melancholy, he is Team Ecstatic. So that should be awesome.
Oh, I love that.
And then of course we have Zach is up there. We have Charlie McGill is new. And then Sam Herman is new. So we have some new faces, some old faces. And that's so far what their registry looks like. So
I think
that
Charlie's
should be
just
awesome.
trying to make their way through all of our ranking leaderboards because I was playing games on Havoc Rundown before we started recording. I'm gonna get that snake, Tony. And all of the leaderboards, and Charlie is at the top of all of them. So this is just another game for Charlie to play with us, and I love that.
Yes. So
Speaking of our games, I now give out trophies. There's trophies. There's a trophy leaderboard
Wait,
for
what?
how well you are on the leaderboard of every day and week and month.
Oh man, I'm in trouble.
we have to get a picture so we can post it on the website of the trophy wherever Aiden has the trophy right now. Hopefully it's in a good spot.
Oh yeah, did we take a picture of it with the trophy? We should definitely post it.
Yeah, we have one. We
have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one. We have a photo giving it to him. So, yeah, I can put that up on the website. That's fine. That is a good idea. We should have a place to post like a photo roll section, Tony.
We
Whatever
make
you have.
banners, Tony. Tony, I need you. Can we make the banners on the website?
So we want photo roll. Got it. Okay.
Damn it, Ashley.
Birthdays up there.
For all
and I have the
listeners.
calendars.
For all listeners, this is what we do all day: is go, Tony, add this. Tony, let's go.
Yeah, I definitely asked for a Builder birthday calendar at one point, Builder. So sorry.
Yeah.
I am that person.
People just have to put their birthdays in. It's like there's a few.
Yep.
It's only for Ashley's information. Nobody else's.
Yeah. And that'll do something cool for you that day.
Yes. So that is our fantasy league. Is there any other touching points before we move on about the fantasy league? We're very excited about the new changes, and we will of course keep on updating during episodes of how it's going and how the rule changes are working and all that kind of stuff. So
I just can't wait to see it actually run.
Yes.
It's one of those things like I can't totally simulate everything that's going to happen. So I'm like, this should be interesting.
Yes, I can't wait for first draft night so we can figure that out. That's going to be fun. Which will be February 2nd.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So Aiden's
That's
gonna win
cool.
a game.
Which will be February 2nd. Sorry, that was a stupid joke. Okay, so let's move on to our plans for the year, and then we'll talk about the recaps for some of the events, and that will be it for this episode. Like I said, it's a short and sweet. So like we said in our closing of last year, this year is a focus on expanding our reach past NHRL and looking at all the other events and what they have to offer. We are going to start that journey with Mass Destruction. And Mass Destruction is on January 31st. Ryan has a Beetle that is currently on the wait list, so we might be doing a press / participating in the event if he gets in. If not, we'll just be there for press. We have reached out to Team Omega, and they are very excited to work with us so that we can go there and get some builder interviews, get some interviews with the people putting the event on, do a full write-up, maybe get some audio stuff, get some content to put on the website, put on the YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. Go ahead, Ryan. I see you want to say something.
I'm extremely excited to fight with pressure. I'm so excited about it.
Right?
We haven't. Justin and I have not been to Mass Destruction before. We keep meaning to go out there, and also to, of course, Boxomania event. And I definitely want to do the Boxomania event as well. Thresher is a 4-wheel drive, tiny weapon in the middle vert. It has 4-inch foam tires on it. It looks ridiculous. It is the funniest thing. Every single tire has its own blitz light on it. So it should be rather speedy and basically be flung around the box every time it gets hit. But it should be fun as hell to drive. And I'm really looking forward to it. I have the parts. Most of the parts are in. I'm waiting for some parts coming from Robot Smashing League. And then she can get put together.
Yeah.
And I think we're all going to mass destruction.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I have pretty press badges for everyone. So, and so we are working with Team Omega to do that, to get some behind the scene access, talk to builders and the people putting on the event. And included in that is a interview with Team Omega about mass destruction, which is going to take place next Tuesday and be up before the event on the 31st. And that is going to be talking to them about how mass destruction came about and what the event means to them and what makes it different from all the other events and all that kind of information that people want to know. Just trying to hype up that event a little bit and get the backstory and background of how it came to be. So I am very excited to go to that. I am very excited to talk to them. That is going to be our next episode of the year. And then, of course, after that is the February 7th NHRL event, which is going to be the first competition, the first tournament of the year. And we will do a episode on that. We haven't decided a builder or who the guest is going to be for that episode, but we will be talking about the February 7th event because that is the kickoff of the NHRL season. So that is our current plan. We do have a roadmap going forward for each of the NHRL events, as well as some other the other local and non-local events peppered throughout the year. Trying to get some more interviews of the people behind the smaller events that make up the other part of the combat robotics community.
Absolutely.
Anything
Awesome.
Anybody is excited for?
I'm just excited to fight a bot again this year. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for it. And I'm really pumped to be able to go. We're also going to do G-Scroll and stuff like that. I'm really pumped to go see one of those events. I'm just really excited to go to those local events. I love local events. Local events are like the smaller events compared to NHRL have just such a good vibe to them.
Yeah.
It's just everybody coming out. Yeah.
Boxelmania. We'll also be going to Boxelmania and talking to either Glenn or Brian again, maybe, or someone participating at Boxelmania. Just any of the local ones around here. We have a little bit of a longer reach because Ashley is in Pennsylvania, and I know, Ashley, you have some plans with Zach to go to some of the other events. And she has a fancy new mic to use to get some cool interview content there.
And that being said, if you have audio or write-ups with any event that you do anywhere in the world, send them to us. We will gladly put those up on the website and talk about them in the podcast, and we'll get your information out there.
Yep. Not only do we have a YouTube channel that we can post that stuff that goes right into the website, but we also have a content creators section of the website that people can post articles and put write-ups and whatever else up there as well. So one of the things that we would love to get as we go forward to post onto the news section for anyone that wants to do it after they go to any of the events is a write-up on your time at that event and how your robot did, because we love those. And I know that people write those up and throw them on Facebook and they're seen on Facebook and stuff like that, but we really want to give a platform for that kind of content. So if you are listening and you go to another event and you want to write up about how your robot did in that event, we have a platform for that. You can write it up, send it to us, we'll put it up, or you can go into the content creator console and put it up yourself. So very cool. Okay, so before we leave, I want to talk about the 3 events that we have on the calendar that have happened so far in this year. The first one was on January 2nd. It was called the New Year's Knockout. I guess it's called Placer, right?
Yeah.
Right, Tony? This one was Beetle, Ant, and Plastic Ant. What is the difference in the Open and the EDU?
So EDU is college teams or high school teams.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's an educational type. So it's basically like newcomers to the event and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. So the New Year's Knockout had a Beetle event, an Ant event, full combat Ant event, a plastic Ant open, and a plastic event EDU or educational plastic Ant. For the Beetle event, RX7 won that. For the Ants, the full combat Ant Speedster won, which we'll talk about Speedster again in a second. For the plastic Ant open, Arc Star. And then for the EDU plastic Ant Baguette, which is an awesome robot name, by the way. So the second event was WCCRL, which happened on January 9th. This is where we talk about Speedster again, because they brought the builder of Speedster brought it again and won the Ant event there, which was their second title in 7 days in a week. And the plastic Ant that won that was called Zika. And then finally we have Rumble at Railroad, which was January 10th, which had an Ant and a plastic Ant. The winner of the Ant was G Money, and the winner of the plastic Ant was Dark Type. We will continue doing these, just trying to touch on those local events and who won them. We'll try and get some more stats and stuff as we fill that stuff up in the website. So we can have a little bit more like win-loss and some stats on each of these robots. So before we end our Season 3 opener, does anyone have any thoughts on the year ahead or anything that we talked about?
I'm excited. I can't wait to see us go across the country instead of just at an HRL. It's going to be a blast every time you do something.
Yep.
Robots are cool.
Thomas, where did you go?
I was here.
Yeah. I can't wait for Fantasy again. Fantasy was so fun last year, and I think Fantasy last year spread out from even just everybody participating in it to everybody at every single event eventually found out about Fantasy, especially people whose bots were picked and everything like that. And I think a lot of people enjoyed it as a addition to the sport. So I'm really excited to continue that this year.
Yep. Yeah. 100% agree. Okay, so with that wraps up our Season 3 opener. Welcome to Season 3, everyone. Whether you're a season builder, a stat tracking fantasy fanatic, or a fan discovering the chaos, we're so glad to have you here. Thank you to everyone who listens, shares, and supports the Havoc Rundown, and especially big thank you to all the players, admins, and fans taking part in this year's fantasy leagues. You're the heart of this community. We can't wait to see what madness unfolds in 2026. Be sure to visit our website at havocrundown.com for all of our episodes, all of our information, our games, the Havoc registry. Basically, everything we do is going to be there on that website now. That is our main platform. There you'll find the Fantasy League tools, episode archives, merch, and ways to support the show. We'll be back soon with our first event preview of the year, which is going to be Mass Destruction on January 31st. Until then, draft smart, drive safe, and stay chaotic. Everyone say goodbye to our listeners. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Remember, builders are better than sports people.
Oh my God. We just had to have the negative Nancy on the website on this episode.
Negative Nancy. No, builders are just better.
Bye, everyone.